Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, we've seen some upsets already this tournament, and I won't say it's a likely outcome, but it's certainly a possible one considering how well New Albany were putting together that last series. Let's get it started as we
Okay.
jump back into Ascent, and once again, we're seeing some different ideas on the composition. Back to a double duelist, though no Yoru this time.
Yeah, no Yoru here at all. It's kind of like the triple duelist when you look at it. You got the Chamber coming out for Wu as well, who acts as that pseudo duelist. So it definitely seems, in my eyes, I'm looking at Carmel to be really aggressive here on their defensive side. And as they swapped over towards offense, it seems like they just want to dominate when it comes down to these first engagements.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Chamber is a pseudo duelist anymore, but it certainly depends on how you play him. And if you're going to play aggressively, it absolutely can feel that way for sure. What I'm also looking forward to is noticing the difference here in the initiators. You know, double initiator versus just that Sova. The information gathering possibilities for New Albany are going to be superior. How Maudie gets utilized is probably going to be a key to success.
Of course, that alongside having the Killjoy as well. You know, I was mentioning earlier about the Cypher versus Killjoy conversation, and now seeing a Chamber come out for the Sentinel. Without that lockdown, we saw how tough it was for East Kenwood to fight some of those rounds, and it's going to be the same case for Carmel. Although this being the #1 seed, I don't want to rule them out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about that Chamber and why you talked about it as a semi-duelist is because if you could just take those early engagements and take fights that shouldn't necessarily be won and then rendezvous out of there, then it doesn't matter what the other comp is. It just matters that you're dead.
Similar to what we saw from Psalm on the Euro, just with the same capabilities of a Sentinel. On top of that, with a little bit of control when it comes down to chaos inside these sites, but a site seems to be on the minds of New Albany as Bubs the Viking leading over towards trees, blocked off by the dark cover. First one in's Maudie alongside Ether, and they get rid of Penguin right away. Laser quick to trade it out. The SOP supplier not able to get any eyes on. They lose their Astra, and the spike getting planted.
The door gone, and Ether just denying the other aspect of this retake. Only one direction to go from, and Ether's got them all covered.
I don't know about you, Vincent, but deja vu maybe?
A little
Ether
bit.
in these pistol rounds is incredible. What is that? 4 or 3 pistol rounds that we've seen from this Jet, and then amongst that is 11 kills.
I mean,
just in pistols alone.
Thinking back as well, Ether leading the charge at the end of the game for New Albany in the quarterfinals, giving some very strong starts and doing it here once more in the semis. Carmel on the back foot. We've already seen a lot of work done, though, by some lesser weaponry. This not going to be quite one of those examples yet. Headhunter, forward position, takes a shot and rendezvous out. No big issue, but no frag found.
Smokes are going to be thrown out here from New Albany. Quickly to dash on, but Pooley able to catch a few out in the open. Nice double kill coming out from Pooley's. Definitely going to keep Carmel on the back foot here. Spike getting planted in a 4 versus 2. The information on where a couple of these members are going to be. Quick to take care of Blazer, quick to take care of the SOP supplier, and 2 quick rounds coming out from New Albany.
Keeping it simple, New Albany in the first round. Love the slow map control taking main, then heading back towards mid and working together to take the tree area. This round, or the previous round rather, not so much slow. Just take the fights. Overwhelm with the weapon advantage they know they had. But this next round, weapons out. And the first time that we're going to see Carmel at full capacity.
Slow approach through catwalk seems to be the case. No way Ether is fighting a Vandal in market with just a ghost.
This is a really interesting early setup at A for Carmel. The fact that they have 2 players committed to the site itself, neither of them taking 4 positions at main, is a little abnormal. But they're trying to take these spots at ranges that are going to be better for them.
It seems like that range is going to pay off for Laser at least. Woo doubling down. 3 kills coming out from Carmel. Only one to deal with now is Pooley on site. Pooley does good for 3. Taking a couple of these rifles out of the hands of our Carmel players. Definitely not an easy round for these rifles at all, but first one put on the board here for our #1 seed.
Yeah, sticking together and making life a little bit more difficult for the Carmel High School squad. But New Albany, now with new life coming into this round. Look at this. 5 players ready to go at B. And that's where this chamber is located. Keep your eyes on that. Getting that rendezvous to get out of there can be so strong.
Deploying drone.
Back over towards B. Owl drone leading for information. Tailwind over towards the lever. They're going to know exactly where Kid 6 is. Recon dart all the way deep. Woo, good for 1, but Ether immediately for the trade combines 2. And that is the site broken.
Getting into the post plant as well. Samlin gonna put in the spike, and nobody so far forward looking for information. They're all stuck. Backside, HP bars relatively low as well here for the side of New Albany, but I guess it doesn't matter if they can't make their way through Speedway.
Pooley's been showing so much life here in the semifinal. Something that you'll love to see if you're a fan of this New Albany team. Dark cover has gone away. Penguin now out in the open, but takes care of Pooley. Swings out, finds 2. 1v1, bumps all alone, and Laser gets the best of that. Not a lick of damage towards this Astra, and plenty of time for the defuse.
Bubs are taking the heads-up duel, just trying to be as aggressive as possible, and maybe could have played the longer game, but thought there was a timing, and it doesn't work out. The clutch there, that was a 2-on-4, by the way. Yeah. Massive retake from Carmel. They do it even with a lackluster numbers game.
And it all starts with Penguin finding those first 2 kills, allowing for, Laser to have that distraction, that element of surprise from the alley. So it is a big clutch when you're looking for Carmel. I think a moment in this game that you needed to see from Carmel.
Woo has been put on notice in this early engagement. Paranoid every single round we've seen it, and has to rendezvous out. This time, he doesn't even get the rendezvous. Headshot in.
Clapped by the KO. Kid 6 kind of left open there. Surprised he even wanted the battle.
There's an anime battle. Speaking of battles, almost able to come down. Bladestorm out for both sides, and Ether's in B main while the market push is coming here from Penguin. 3-on-5. I'd normally call this pretty tough to win, but we just saw a 2-on-4.
With 3 players still alive, this 3 versus 5 definitely is there as well. Penguin taking so much damage on his way in. Ether just walks out of the smoke, takes care of the tip of the spear that we saw for the retake last time, and 2 versus 4. This time it's Sob Supplier and Laser, and it just doesn't seem like the connection between these two was as on point as we saw in that last round. So this B site, it was taken, the spike was planted, and it didn't seem like this side of New Albany were planning on leaving anytime soon.
It all starts to fall apart from the start there as well. Thinking about the chamber, the early information that we got, that fight from Woo previously has been able to rendezvous away, and instead this time goes down before it even can take 1 shot. Muddy with a phenomenal headshot there. That's what starts the ball rolling in the right direction for New Albany.
Interesting to see the buy up here from the Sob Supplier. I don't know if the
cash
communication is all there. I mean, he has the cash for sure, but you look at the rest of the team, Classics, Sheriff, so see if this hero rifle can, put anything into this one, and he's buying up because of the tour de force that we get from Woo.
Massive amount of weaponry for a quote-unquote eco round available.
Look at how open B is, though.
In fairness, we didn't see the early engagement at B like we did in the previous round. You see the paranoia still in Pooley's hands, so didn't take that fight. And Woo wasn't there to find any aggression. I like the decision from Carmel. They know that this is a round they need to find some sort of advantage in, and so they're going to stack early towards A, but as that fades away, they're a little bit more of a default setup with one player jump spotting mid. The only weakness at B, where, let's be real, the retake has been their best bet.
Who needs to find a kill here with the tour de force back in towards A main. Aldron's going to spot it as well, so now they know the Ult Command's going to get rid of that ultimate, and Wu just caught with the tail tuck between his legs. What a call to explode on a site behind the KO ultimate.
Where's the rendezvous? I thought surely with such a forward position, he'd have it prepped and ready. Either way, a mistake that allows the B site to be opened up for New Albany.
All down to reaction, and hitting that rendezvous is not as easy as one might think. But here's the hero rifle of the Sop supplier, putting numbers back in favor of the defense for this retake. Penguin not able to make any more issue out of this one, but Sop's not going to stop there. Sop now needs to go big. Low on HP, 85, swings in towards Boathouse. Samlin's gonna take him down, and bumps a Viking tucked away, puts the nail in the round. 4 acquired for New Albany. Carmel, again, shut down at B.
Yeah, and speaking of, it's another conversation about Wu and finding impact in these rounds. If you're going to be playing this chamber, it's imperative that you're able to take a fight or at least get information and then get out of there with that rendezvous.
Yeah.
Sticking around maybe a little too long, or not quite able to find the success required to start the round off right. We get into the gun round, and it's up to Carmel to find some success where failure has been the main concern.
It's the same conversation that we have when, seeing Arena brought out. If you're not finding the kill value on top of this chamber, I feel like you're just not finding the full amount that you need for a chamber to be viable inside of this game. So,
speaking of, look at where the chamber's at this round. Over at A instead of posted at B, and that's where the majority of the attack is located for New Albany. They've been very silent about this, though.
Just going to leave Ether here and Wine. Paranoia is going to be lined up, looking for maybe a mistake of aggression over towards B, but nothing has been shown at all from Carmel.
Same true, though, of New Albany. They haven't put anything forward yet. They're just going to take the fight aggressively as soon as this comes out, and there's Wu. What a man to find.
2 players going to be picked up, though, on the knife, so information is there, and the Hunter's Fury to follow it up. 3 versus 5 for the retake of Carmel, and Penguin's going to make that even more difficult. Bumps a Viking, gets caught on the lurk, and the spike hasn't even been planted. 20 seconds left. Marty's going to get shut down. All eyes towards A main, and Pooley has no way back into this. Time's just going to drain away. These members are going to collapse onto it. That paint shell's going to make it difficult to live. Pooley gets 1 consolation kill on his way out.
Well, there it is. What we've been talking about. How often have we been discussing this chamber and the aggressive positioning that Wu's been taking? When it's not working, it's problematic. When it is, it's so impactful, and it comes to fruition in this round. On the off angle at Generator, you're rarely going to expect somebody, and Ether certainly did not, was just sitting on the left-hand side towards Wine and took a fight that they did not know was coming.
I think we kind of put this into the perspective of the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, but I think it has to be talked about, Vincent, that albeit seeding is important for this tournament, I don't think it's going to be the most impactful as the fact that it was, kind of based on ranks. I've seen plenty of low-ranked players step up to the occasion when needed, and if this team, New Albany, is sharp, it's going to prove some issue for Carmel. And here we see it again. Bubs of Viking swings out together, drops that lockdown immediately. Paint shells out, don't find the kill, and it's not enough to break the lockdown.
That's brutal. Would have liked at least one of those to go your way. Easy chance to get onto the site. How many times has this been place for the spike to go down? Too many to count. And the man advantage in the hands of New Albany. Post plant set, but Ether on an island out in Maine.
Yeah, and Ether is exactly where Ether wants to be. All he needs is 1. Ether's going to find that with the Guardian immediately traded. 3 versus 2 on site. Bubs of Viking down to 14. I'm looking at Bombset to be a little bit of a distraction here, but Pooley's going to shut down Kid 6 before anything can be happen. Pooley just staying alive long enough for Bombset to peek out. 5 rounds acquired for New Albany. Again, they find value over towards B.
The fundamentals really showing strong for New Albany as well. The Ohio squad, absolutely perfect when it came to those trades. Ready to swing off the back of each success, or rather, what could have been a failure, but success was all they found. One by one. And it's a not quite dominant scoreline yet for New Albany, but the way they're approaching these rounds and the success that they're finding suggests that this could quickly start to get out of control.
You don't want to see this snowball at all. Look at the mid.
Yeah.
Aggression that we're seeing come out from Carmel. Pooley's going to be here to absorb it. Finds one. Knows there's more to worry about, and feeding that information over towards the rest of the team as they just explode onto side. Kid 6 is going to be caught, and that's the round. Surely done. But Pooley is going to be able to give a gun over towards Penguin, as well as his counterpart.
I mean, that's massive. At least this is now an approachable retake, sure, but how big a deal would it be to maybe try and save some of these guns? An unlikely event, but might be the better outcome. At the very least, they're going to hold on and deny the exits.
Yeah, that's, I think, what needs to happen right now. But Samlin's going to be caught. The wall bangs for Penguin going to be there. Stop a second one. Suddenly, oh no, 1 versus 2. And Bubsa is down to 5 HP. Trapped in Boathouse. Time still closing out. Madi hasn't been seen at all. And all you need to close out this round is Madi on an off angle. 6-3 is there. No guns held over into the next from Carmel. And again, the B site is proving to be such an issue for this team, Vincent.
And here's where you might have wanted some of those guns to be coming into this round. It was already a 3-on-5 and, well, cut to 4. Still difficult. This is nothing in their pocket. A Guardian that Sop Supplier is going to sell back because he doesn't have the cash to invest it.
I want to look at this and just point towards this chamber, and maybe it's a comfort pick, but it's just not enough right now. Albeit the #1 seed, maybe coming into this with a little too much confidence.
And I think that getting onto this site once again, B has been such a huge point of contention. But they're over towards A, keeping the entirety of Carmel High School guessing.
They know it's a thrifty. They know they have range. And Monty gets caught by that boombot out through the nebula. Ether just caught in the open. Pooley combines for 2. Out of the smoke, still Penguin finding a little bit of value with this one. The blade storms out, dropping down at Sop. Samlin versus Sop. 1v1. Sova v Sova. And the Shock Dart's going to force himself out, but Sop is there to clutch it up. Exactly what Carmel needs.
Huge thrifty when they needed it most as well. Not even the hero rifle required. And taking those heads-up duels and letting Penguin get involved with the Sheriff. That is what allows them to take him over the edge. Sop Supplier, massive 1v1 at the end there as well. And I think that leads me perfectly into the point I wanted to make previously, which is, we've talked a lot about Wu because he's really been the do or die, the it factor. If he's getting the early pick, which he's been in position for often, that's winning them rounds. If he isn't, it's giving them a lot of tough work to do in the mid round. But this last round, an entirely different look, allowing the other 2 players on Duelist to get activated.
Oh, nice angle there from Sop, and only finds 1. Samlin quick to trade, but losing out on Ether. Or Ether is a whole lot of aggressive attack gone for these early engagements.
There's a lot to work with on this site, though. Getting pushed 2 different angles, but
gravity well. Laser not able to find anything. Not expecting Monty to be there, but Kid 6 there to clean up. Samlin dispatches of this raise. The damage has been done. Question is, do they have the read on the Bubsa? Wu's going to be checking in, and with the help of Penguin, they make it a 1v2. Samlin on site. Spike is there, but the trade from Penguin just a little bit better. Simple as could be from Carmel. playing the trade game, playing the nice fundamental Valorant that we've been looking for.
I mean, clutches the last 2 rounds down to the 1v1. It all looked good for New Albany on the site. Didn't expect for Kid 6 to be hanging out. Rare has it been for there to be 2 players committed to be site itself. Usually it's 1 player max in that area. Kid 6's adjustment, catching them off guard and setting up the 1v1 eventually to come. Final round with this first half coming up. And it's been a bit of a struggle for Carmel High School. I'd say on the back foot for the majority of it. But they're just 1 round away from equalizing things. Doesn't matter how you get there, Seymour. It's about the final destination.
Exactly. New Albany already proving themselves to be quite the contender here in our Scholastic Champs. 6 rounds on their attacking side of Ascent, and they are looking for number 7 now to close it out. Although they're walking into the showstopper, Cosmic Divide, and Hunter's Fury, there is so much potential for not only retake, but displacement from this Astra.
Everything on the line and sticking together for New Albany. They just have a tentative control of mid, little jump spot coming down from Samlin. And everybody else watching and waiting for a main aggression that simply has not been going forward. Not a single round that I can remember in this half have Carmel pushed forward aggressively at A.
At the same time, though, Carmel, no information over towards me, no information through mid. They don't know what's going to happen. Finally, Campbell is right, and Wu's going to find the first one. Penguin in hell, a second. Null Command now holding them back, and they still continue to just walk on through the Hunter's Fury from SOP, from downtown to close the round. Lovely sights there from Carmel. They end on a high note, and they tie us up.
The Penguin and Wu show. That's what it was over at A site. And I'll say it, I'm a fan of that particular programming. Phenomenal job, and something, again, that we didn't quite get to see as much as I was hoping in the first half there, but it's signs of potential things to come with the Jet finally finding some big impact. Same thing on that chamber. But onto the defensive side, we'll see what New Albany have to offer. Again, the way that New Albany approached their attack, both in the quarterfinals and now in the semis, it's really about just keeping things simple and standard executes. Nothing too fancy. Now into the defense, that fundamental good Valorant that they like to try and play, I think is even more important.
Exactly. We put a lot of focus onto Wu on our defensive side. I don't think that's going to change here, Vincent, onto attack either. I think now our focus just shifts from Wu having to set up on these aggressive angles and wait for, the attack to come through. Now this chamber has to kind of hunt for some of this value, and that makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, you can flip that in saying that as a Sentinel, all Chamber really needs to do is wait out for the spike plant, set up in the post plant, and then kind of mimic what we saw on defense with those aggressive angles. But the case is, do we get that?
Let me take a different tact, because I don't know if I'm on the same page. And let me tell you why. As much as you're absolutely right, trying to hunt for that impact is exactly what Wu's going to have to do. He shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to be the player,
not at all,
the crux. It's got to turn, and as much as Kid 6 had some high impact, I think we need to see more from this race. I think that is the determinant factor for the attack, whether it be Penguin or Kid 6. I think those are actually the two that we need to put some additional points on and look towards the way that they're approaching things, because, I mean, you're playing a double duelist. This is where that double duelist is supreme.
Of course. And when you kind of look towards these two duelists back in their first half too, and I mean, Penguin had some fantastic moments, Kid 6 moments, but not as many over at B. Oftentimes just overwhelmed. I think there was one round in, particular that I can definitely, pick out of the bunch for Kid 6. But other than that, very quiet game inside this race. Not as explosive as you would expect from a race player.
Yeah, that round back boathouse. I think both of us probably on the same page there.
Of course, yeah.
But why so much pressure here for Carmel? Well, you come into this #1 seed, look to see the delivery, especially after such a dominant quarterfinal performance. New Albany, as much as they have been keeping it incredibly close, they have looked to be the team that is hanging on to the pace of play. They've been setting the tone, and as the attackers, you do that, but
Yeah.
now it's up to Carmel to do the same.
And I think the difficult part is that for New Albany, they were able to take hold of these sites so easily on their attacking side because they weren't walking into a KO, because they didn't have to worry about those Killjoy utilities. Now these double duelists, they have to use their fancy footwork and they have to work around these nanoswarms as well as losing that information from the KO. It's not an easy composition to break through whatsoever. And we saw it from New Albany on their defensive side back in round 1 of this tournament. Is this Killjoy and KO setup that they have is a very difficult thing to decode.
There's a reason it's the meta,
Of course.
and that is part of it. Is that there's a lot of utility, a lot of denial, especially whether that be in the form of the nanoswarm or the 0 point or the null command. All of these bits and pieces make it difficult to get there. By the way, if you're wondering what's going on, we are just in a tech pause here. Apparently a headset got broken or something.
Yeah, it seemed like Modi couldn't hear the rest of the team. So whether or not that has influence on those past couple of rounds is to be determined, I'd say. But we're just going to have to sit back and wait. It seems like we're still waiting on hearing from this team on what is the case for this. And they don't necessarily know. So
Yeah. We're hanging out.
we're just going to have to hang out, have a good time, and determine, when this is, or I guess deal with what is going to happen when it does happen. So while we wait for everything to be fixed on pace for this mic, we are going to take a step back from the mics, take a quick little break, and we'll be back with this as soon as the action resumes, folks.
Won't you take me
felt so alive in my life, 'cause you make me come to life every time I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you? Right into you, I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you? Yeah, I'm free falling. Can you hear me calling for you? Yeah, I'm free falling. I'ma keep on falling for you. I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Felt so alive in my life, 'cause you make me come to life every time I'm free. Oh, and I'm loving all that you do. Can't you see that I'm crashing right into you?
Welcome back, everybody. After a little break, it seems like
You better
everything
run,
has
Silva.
been settled between these two teams as we're hopping in towards the second half. Just a quick recap into this. Just a quick lead Out of New Albany. Swept away. Tied up by Carmel.
That it is. And, well, sticking together. It's Carmel heading out towards the A site, and there is quite a bit of defense here, ready to go.
Pooley just spamming through the smoke. Penguin gets dropped. That's a great way to start off here for New Albany.
Staying alive as well. Laser, the crux of this retake, or the defense against it.
Hello. Athos weak. Can't fight this right away.
It's got away.
He's gonna be procced, but out comes Sop with the classic. The right click lands. Samlin's gonna continue the trade fest that is going on. Samlin almost connecting with 2, but it's 2 versus 2. And Madi not having a chance to get out. 1v1. Woo is known, and Samlin with the heads up play, wrapping through tree, takes the fight to Woo and clutches up here.
Fantastic work. Again, just back and forth. This time, Samlin, the one to deliver in the clutch. It's really been Carmel almost exclusively in those 1vx situations, finding success. That's how they were able to push this back into the 6-6 scoreline that we saw at halftime. Instead, it's New Albany that are doing the damage.
Yeah.
And it's a massive start for them, considering that gives them the lead going into this second round.
And maybe a little callback here from Samlin, who lost a 1v1 to Sop earlier in this game, too. So
Revealing area.
that's going to be a confidence booster for sure. Out towards it, B. Lots of aggression being shown from Carmel. And Ares for Samlin just not able to find anything good. 38 HP as players are tiptoeing through these nanoswarms, but that's going to be an Ares recovered.
This is,
Spike planted.
on the face of it, looking good for New Albany, but even better for Carmel. What a shot.
Forced off the rendezvous. Ether is going to land a shot with this Marshall, but kind of trapped here. The Spectre
Woo!
at range. Albeit the automatic guns usually a little bit more favored into these rounds, but at distance, that classic just tapping away, Vincent. Woo's going to put it away and keep us tied. A thrifty round being shown from Carmel.
I mean, and that's why the Headhunter is just so powerful. Just being able to have that at your disposal in the repertoire, the back pocket, at any given junction. It's exactly what...
Force.
True story. Just one orb away. They're headed back to B.
Okay. Out. Ether hits
Oh, what happened?
What?
That's outrageous.
Is a sheriff round if I've ever seen it. Now Laser 1v5, just no chance. Rattling off the shots, Samlin and Ether. Unbelievable.
When is the last time you saw a sheriff collateral? It's
Never.
been a minute for me. That's absurd. Incredible. Ether with just a pre-fire headshot to start things out, then follows it up with another, bookended by the collat. Oh my goodness.
I've been casting this game since it was released, and I don't think I can ever recall seeing a sheriff collateral. That is just such a... It's just...
You don't
never
see it.
You just don't see it. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. But New Albany, I mean, you couldn't ask for a way or a better way to answer back from losing a Thrifty.
Yeah, Thrifty of your own, but we might be at a loss, but Carmel certainly are not. They have a plan, and they're putting it to action. One of the favorite strats is the B split here on Ascent, and that's exactly what it looks like they'll be doing.
Oh, but they lose Kid 6 in market. That's Ether all the way from Defender Spawn. And the Tour de Force has yet to see any sort of information. Ether, a second one. Tour de Force finally noted, but Ether is just picking them to pieces. 3 versus 2. Astra and Chamber. Really, Samlin just needs to hide away with this Odin. Wu has no idea where he is. Slowly creeping into sight with it. Was so unaware, so hesitant on this one. Oh, that shot, you needed to hit it. Samlin's gonna jump up with the Odin. Just Sova things.
30 seconds left.
1v3 for Laser. Vandal at the ready. Cosmic Divide as well, just in case the spike does go down. But unfortunately, Laser doesn't have the spike, so...
I mean, a very split defense, but the big issue is the time. The clock playing 6-man once again. And there, Pooley will close it. New Albany. Finally, the only ones able to stand tall against a thrifty possibility. And they deliver. Not only that, but I think we're going to see a continuation, yeah. Full buy back end. Had the cash to do so. Tour de Force, that doesn't cost any money, remember.
So, yeah. About Ether, he's pretty good.
True. This guy has been continually showing what he's got. Individual prowess.
A
But
little bit of a callback here, too. The wine tuck here from Ether.
true.
Think back to round one of the tournament.
Those who know.
Hides away and finds 4 kills with just a ghost.
Shout out Samlin as well, who's quietly been a really high impact player on this Sova.
Who, back in, the first time we saw them on Ascent, not as
Scanning ahead.
impactful, so definitely some upgrades here from New Albany.
Who's gotten a pretty far forward position, and because of this dark cover, the recon bolt doesn't spot it. So there's been no information about the B hit that's about to start going. Owl's one is important, but it's too little too late.
Bubsa they have to be worried about on the off angle, finds one. Now looking to finesse around, Bubsa gets 2. Low HP, Bubsa gets 3! Okay, when you ask, Bubsa delivers here 3 kills coming out from this killjoy, and it's enough to keep arm's reach between Carmel and New Albany. 10 rounds here on Ascent for the defensive side. And some pretty big plays coming out from our individuals locking down that B side. I want to talk a little bit about Bubsa as well, Vincent, because we talk about New Albany being the 4th seed based on rankings. Bubsa, the lowest ranked player on this team, Plat 2 in Valorant, amongst Ascendants as well as Immortals. Probably the reason the team's in 4th seed, and showing comfort like that is so important.
Listen, is Bubsa in Elo hell? Who knows? But delivering here when it matters the most in tournament play, that's what is important. Sticking it together. All 5 approaching B, and nobody's actually on the site itself, but the big gun in hand, Samlin has shots through the nebula.
And tear, Vincent. Rip and tear with the Odin. There's nothing better than a Sova on Ascent with an Odin in hand. Hunter's Fury looking to deny the spike from going down, but it will reach the dirt. Samlin with the Hunter's Fury still locks down a kill there on the Laser. Penguin holding an aggressive angle with just a stinger. 2v5 trying to hold back the oncoming aggression. Ether shoves the barrel of an Odin right into it. And Woo almost pulls it back. 3 kills from Woo. Respectable, but just not enough.
Where did those kills from Woo come from? I was too busy worrying about Odin spamming through a wall. Absurd. Woo has really just made this second half so entertaining. We were talking about how impactful Woo was in the first and what that would look like into the second. And I think we've got our answer.
I think our answer here from New Albany, they're shouting to the mountains right now.
Right here.
Everybody can hear them. Ether back on what has been a superstar performance for this Jet. 20 and 14.
Yeah.
And Samlin, you talked about these impact plays. 16 and 12. 7 assists just behind him.
Scanning ahead.
That recon bolt is looking to cut him off, but Samlin doesn't look the right direction. Thought he had some space to work with because of the nanoswarms. Unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. So the 5-on-4 post plant activated, and there is lots of post plant utility.
Oh no, body. Catches Penguin looking to get aggressive here. Operator not able to be taken down. So in here in a 4 versus 4 lockdown at the ready, waits out the Hunter's Fury, and that's going to put some pressure now on the
shock
point.
darts.
You look at Laser, tucked away inside A main. Cosmic Divide looking to add a little bit of issue here to push on through, but Pooley's going to land that shot at distance. Laser's been known, 2 HP and no more. The post split lives through the lockdown. A little bit invested here, but a needed round from Carmel.
I mean, a huge investment from New Albany, though. They had so much to work with there. It looked beautiful. That Cosmic Divide, not even particularly necessary. Just nice shots from Laser. All the way through. And with that, there may be some hope left for Carmel. It looked like New Albany starting to run away with things. Momentum starting to swing in their direction. Guess who's got the op once again? It's Ether. And ready to roll here at B main. Penguin. Death. No! Penguin will survive and gets the refrag.
Ether's going to go down, but Samlin's right next to him. The trade from the Odin now looking to hold down the site. Slowly inching away, back over towards the lever. The spam through the wall's not going to land. Pooley's from the shadows back over towards Boathouse. And it is known. Bubsa's going to be known here. And Pooley puts it away with from the shadow. Match point for New Albany as they are looking to upset the round.
Not just the round, the whole entire tournament, the series. One more, and they book their ticket to the Grands. It's all that Carmel can do to stay in the fight. Tour de Force, Bladestorm, both available. The bits and pieces of a fantastic round.
Time for a field test.
But how many times has Ether just made life difficult?
You want to play? Let's play.
Not going to stop here, though. Granted, over towards Tiles to start things out. B, seemingly the only side available. That's a huge scan. Chunky as it may be. Samlin calling for some additional support.
Everything comes to a halt. Operator watching the cross from Tiles. 3 players watching any sort of aggression that may be through mid. But it looks like Madi wants to make a play. Setting up for the flank as quick as possible. Woo's going to hit the shot with the tour de force, and that is go time to jump on the site. Odin for Samlin, only able to find the one.
That's massive. This is the shot that they were looking for. Ether coming in for the rotation. There is no command either from Madi to make this retake simpler. Woo has the range. Currently hit with a dark cover, but that is dissipating. Now they've got to cross the gauntlet.
Heads up right from Woo.
Oh!
Here's now Pooley snaps back for 3.
Oh!
The 4th one as well. Woo. I mean, we talked bad about this chamber non-stop in the first half, but here, inside of the 9th round 1 by Carmel, rising with the tour de force.
Play some stars in the astral plane.
Just when you're needed the most, that's when Woo continues to find success. I mean, you asked the question, how would Woo find impact in the second half? And I said, well, it shouldn't necessarily have to be Woo. Woo took that personally. Said, absolutely, it will and can and should be me.
23-17.
Look at the stack at B. They're done.
The wrong gamble to be made. And again, you know, brings me back to this round 1 game for New Albany. I keep calling back to it, but they weren't able to close the game out as simply as expected.
Spike planted.
Here.
In post plant, not exactly a super winnable scenario, but Laser on the lurk once again. Whenever they've been hitting the A site, this has been important, and Pooley, great awareness of that fact. Unfortunately, Woo, he's done it again.
He can't keep getting away with it. 4 kills again from Woo, 27-17. incredible things to be seen here from this chamber inside of the second half of Ascent. Backed into a corner, Carmel showing exactly why this team has been recognized as the #1 seed.
Very true. But as impressive, as incredible as Wu's current performance is, and as much as he really is just hefting the team into the backpack, how much can this continue? Just one massive round from, an Ether, from Samlin, anyone for New Albany can absolutely turn this tide. 0 point. Oh, gets information. It's going to catch out at least Sop Supplier.
I cannot use that. Deploying drone.
Saladron's going to give a lot of information to the defense, knowing that this is a push coming forward.
Tucked away. Ether's going to find the first one. Dancing around the start cover, a second in for New Albany. We may think that this team just gets tested nonstop. Is this where they close it out?
3 on 3, though. Massive possibility. There is a Cosmic Divide, and that's going to cut off Heaven.
Isolating Ether. Stanlin's going to walk on through. Kid 6 welcomes him to the site. Ether's going to be known now from Trey. Can't find the second one now all alone. Ether, 41 HP to send his team to the grand finals, but it's just not that time yet. 11th round secured for Carmel. Another chance here on Ascent to send us to overtime now.
And then look at the money. It's broken. The econ is brutal here for New Albany. This is the worst of moments for them to be broke. And they are. Just 2 rifles. Well, a third with the Bulldog now in hand for Modi. But where can they go with this? A Showstopper and a Blade Storm as well. Those heavy-hitting duelist ultimates for the Carmel High School attack.
What is it? 2-2-1 split for Carmel now. Last chance, Vincent, for New Albany to put it away in a regulation. And look at Pooley's going to be taking a note from the book of Ether. Tuck away in towards wine. Well, Catwalk has been fully overrun.
Yeah, but nobody knows about it. At least somebody on the defense.
No information.
And that 0 point dodged as well. Wu,
Here.
unknown, isn't even going to tap on the orb. Though that could be gathered.
And like ships passing in the night, Pooley is gone. Tree.
Here we go.
Backup plan. And we're going to the races here. On the cross. Showstopper here for Kid 6. Nobody home to receive it.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, just all the way deep into Heaven with the right play made for New Albany as they let them go forward, hoping for the retake.
Modi gets caught. Wu again starts off this round. 28th kill found. Pooley looking to find the rest as they flood on in from Heaven. Penguin finds 2 with the Blade Storm. And it's all down to Samlin. Penguin shuts him out. 3 kills to send us into OT on Ascent.
Both semifinals, both overtime as we get down to the wire. One grand final is set and another TBD. This is all been what it's leading up to. And what a comeback for Carmel High School. I mean, I keep saying it. I feel like a broken record at this point, but what a performance from Wu. Just quad kill, triple kill, everything needed for them to find success. That's what he did in that second half. 4 rounds straight.
4 rounds straight from Carmel. And 2 of them were 4Ks from Wu. Back onto the defense, going to be forced off the angle at B. Once again, it does seem like New Albany, they want to try to see if they can find success at the site, but the stack is 4 for Carmel. 3 on site, 1 in market, and all the information, but as soon as they push out, the Sop Supplier finds 2, and the rest get cut to pieces.
New Albany, they had some chances in this game, in this map, to come away victorious, but now they're the ones on the back foot. They're the ones unable to connect together the pieces. They tried straight out towards B. That last round, it was just a hope and a prayer that they sent up, hoping they could find some success at the B rush. But put down as they came through that smoke. One more round to find for Carmel High School to complete the comeback trail, to find themselves in the grand finals. Oh, and look at this. Aggression dialed up. Ether, we've seen this before off the paranoia. 0 point. Waited out, but they're all still here, Seymour.
Everybody backed up. Ether on the angle. Paranoia at the ready. Called. But the paranoia doesn't reach it. Luckily, Marty's there to back him up and finds 2.
That's a saving grace that we haven't seen from New Albany too many times. Maudie helping to save the day, but even in the 3-on-2, this is still incredibly potent from Carmel High School. You see them just waiting, watching, and on the other side, defensively, New Albany unsure of how they should approach. Do they stick together? Do they play separated? What's the right call? And in reality, there's not a correct one.
You've seen clutches before, Vincent. 2v3, definitely not out of the realm of possibility. Pooley going to be the first contact.
30 seconds left.
In through trees, just tucked away.
Oh,
Blazes
massive.
Find that one. Samlin now. Push out that recon dart. Same thing with Sop it. Beating out Sop. That's a 1 versus 1 now. Slowly, Bubza working to heaven.
And Laser on the other side. Incredibly clutch. He's just going to walk through the smoke.
No, oh, Bubza keeps it going. Iron gut. All the will to succeed. And full confidence in winning his ones.
Doing it when it matters the most. We're headed to another overtime. Our 5th of the day. No lead, not this time. The attack side down early in that last round. But didn't matter. Bubs up with the clutch up. And that early aggressive fight that we saw, I think that New Albany, I'd love to see more of that from them. Obviously onto the attack side this time, but that same concept is something that I think Carmel High School, they've been caught out before, and they could be caught out again.
Scanning ahead.
Oh, that's information for Sop, but no idea that Samuel is right around the corner. Full mid control being shown here. And Wu has to be careful not to give up his life through market.
I love that in this case, especially New Albany, they recognize the importance of this scenario. They know that, and it seems like they've caught on, that Carmel aren't very aggressive on their defense. They often just let them take the fights on their own terms. And so this slower approach makes a ton of sense.
Who's going to find one rendezvous back in towards market, but Ether hunts him down and trades it. Now, only one is going to be Kid 6 to defend this B site as the rest just continue to push the pressure on. Kid 6 in boathouse, trapped right now. 1v4, tucked away, finds one, finds 2. That might be enough. Here
Kid
comes
6.
the rest. Body known around the corner. Penguin keeps him in a 1 versus 2, low on health. And a lovely round being shown there. Kid 6 with such an important double kill.
Yeah, I've been on the struggle bus, let's be honest, but when it matters, when it's down to the wire to get another chance at closing this and putting them into the grands, Kid 6 loving the back boathouse position. He's a highlight reel from that spot in particular. Everything down to this. This is 14-13. More overtime required, or will it end here?
Looks Looks like we have a stowaway.
Been sitting in the back of the boathouse, maybe.
Possibly. That's Kid 6, actually. Well, we got something to deal with here, so we're going to toss it to a quick little break while we get things settled once again. We'll be back with overtime.
A tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster. A reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh. You think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face. Got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you'll break your back to make me feel again. Suffocate to make me breathe again. Lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into
A little bit of an unfortunate surprise guest showed up, Vincent, and we had to get them out of the party as quick as possible to resume this absolute gauntlet that has been Ascent in our semifinal number 2. Back-to-back overtimes in our semifinals, by the way, Vincent. This grand final, whoever makes it there, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, no party crashers here. Samlin readying up some utility to go, and back to the B hit we are.
Bob's up. Caught by the paint shell out in the open. Kick 6 removes him. Samlin trades out onto Penguin. The B side is lost.
It's been this back and forth. The plant on B, the post plant coming back in time and time again. And how good has New Albany been in this position?
Laser logs. Kid 6, the first one to strike. That's Ether gone. A lot of firepower now that you don't have to deal with. Samlin just looking to stay alive for the paint shells. Laser still hasn't been spotted and finds the kill over towards logs. Samlin and Modi now left to clutch up to keep New Albany alive here. But from the depths, from the ashes of Ascent, Carmel down but not out.
Attackers
From
win.
down in the first half, they tie it up. In the second, they bring us to overtime. And now they're going to the grand finals.
Man, once again, just every single attempted clutch up there from New Albany. They had many opportunities. They got to 12 first. They had the chances. Even in the first overtime, they were there. But still, Carmel High School just staying strong. And, I mean, powered by Woo and Penguin. Let's be real. Woo, especially that comeback in the second half. How many times did he get a 4K? At least 3 or 4 Ks?
Too many times for New Albany.
I don't know how you stop that. The reality is that Woo was the it factor, and it was really impressive from the rest of the squad, but he was what made sure they made it into that overtime.
Yeah, and it's very validating, to be talking about a player, playing Chamber and needing to see him be so influential, and then this whole comeback revolving around Woo. 32, 20, and 11. Definitely MVP there for
Yeah.
Carmel. Not only the comeback, but putting it away inside of that overtime. So we have our grand finals set in stone, Vincent. It's going to be Evanston versus Carmel, our number 1 seed versus our number 3 seed. And for New Albany, you know, they have lost here in the semis, but it is not done for them either. They get to play for 3rd place versus the Indy Knights now.
That they do. Yeah, an exciting matchup there, as well as that grand final matchup. Ooh, I cannot wait. We got a whole lot to talk about there, but that's going to be coming up soon. Before we shoot over to a break, though, I want to say one more special thank you and shout out as well, League OS, for powering this national competition. All of this is because of them, helping to connect students with opportunities in the collegiate space. So from high school into the collegiate area, all of that is made possible by them. Find out more about that over at portal.leagueos.gg. So check that out. While you're doing that, we're going to take a short break here and head to the Grands right after this.